feelings. So I have a theory that when we can hold space for people when they're in really dark places, that is incredibly healing. And when people don't have someone to hold space for that, or don't have acceptance around it, or face rejection from it, or anger, or other not great emotions, then it can make that feeling even bigger. So this came to mind because I have a spicy friend, Navi, who came over, and we had thought maybe he was going to spend the night, but he couldn't. And so he felt really, really rejected and really hurt. And I think it brought up rejection trauma from his past. And so we got really prickly. And for me, I have a little bit of trauma around angry men, or just anger in general. It doesn't matter the gender. And I was working really hard at holding space, and it was tricky. And so we're driving back, and I'm thinking, oh, I don't know what to do. I probably should run. But I asked, hey, do you still want me to spend the night? And he was saying, do whatever you want. And so my impulse was to think, okay, I'm just going to drop him off and leave. But there was a part inside that said, yo, Kira, don't do that. Accept him. Be there for him. Be there in his pain. And so I did that, and I just held space. At one point, I did ask or say something like, oh, I'm a little worried, and I don't know if you're going to blow up, which I think hurt a bit. But in general, I was, for the most part, 99% there. And then ever since that, he's been super warm, super affectionate, super sweet, and we've just had a lot of fun, and it feels like we're closer. And I realized, whoa, I held space through really, really icky time, and it was really healing for him, I think. Because I think when we're in those moments, that's when we need acceptance the most. And it was making me think of a past relationship where a partner did have some anger stuff, and I didn't accept it. And I think it just made it worse and worse and worse, because when we're in those moments, that's what we crave. I think it's just a part of us saying, I hurt so much, help. But we might look at it and think, oh, no, I don't want to get close to that at all. And sometimes we can't get close to it. And that's the hard thing, is knowing yourself and knowing your strengths. Because sometimes we don't have the emotional bandwidth for it. And sometimes we do have to just not be in that situation. But if we can, I think it can be super helpful. And so I was thinking about the whole polyheal thing. I don't think I've updated on YouTube, but it's kind of fallen apart. And I'm going to be moving out. I happen to be here to pick up some stuff. But I was in a really bad place because I had just all this trauma going up, and I was super depressed, and it wasn't accepted. It was too hard. There wasn't the emotional bandwidth to accept it. So then I felt like it got worse and worse, because here's all this pain. And, there's that inner child just crying out, please just accept me in this. Please just love me. Because I think if you are loved in that icky place, can do wonders. But yeah, the people involved didn't have the emotional bandwidth for it, and that's okay. But I think it made things harder. And I was thinking about that too. Just some different things have come up, and there were a lot of emotions, and I didn't have the emotional bandwidth to take it, and I think it just made it all worse. So that's the hard thing, is if we can find that strength, because sometimes we can't. But yeah, I think it's just all of us. Sometimes we have just this inner part. When we're in our trauma, it can be so hard to be around. It can be really tricky. It can feel scary. It can feel gross. Maybe part of you disdains that person. Maybe you think, oh, that person's really weak. The person needs to toughen up. Or if they're really angry, you think, oh man, that person's mean. That person's bad. That person's don't love me. But yeah, it's just probably them crying out and saying, please love me. I need it extra. Yeah, it's hard. But if we can, I think it can do absolute wonders. So good luck to all of us. Okay, bye.